Architectural Review. My name is Todd Howard, and I serve as the chairperson of this meeting. The other members in attendance today will now introduce themselves.
Nathan Shop,
Pete Matsko.
Andrew Neptune,
David Allison.
The Clemson Planning and Codes Office staff member in attendance is Jacob Peabody. The recording secretary of this meeting is Rebecca Wilbanks. BAR members are appointed by the Clemson City Council. The BAR's responsibilities focus on the design aspects of projects located within one of the 5 architectural overlay districts in the city of Clemson. A copy of the agenda for this meeting can be found in the outside lobby. If you are a member of the public and would like to speak regarding a matter on the agenda, you will need to read and sign the speaker's form. On the back of the speaker's sign-in form is a list of things that fall within the purview of the BAR and a list of things that don't. You will be asked for the signed form should you choose to speak. Anyone speaking will be required to stand at the podium, and there will be no speaking from the audience. The meeting will be conducted in the following manner. For each agenda item, the BAR will hear a report from the planning staff. After the staff report, the applicant will be given the opportunity to present their application and demonstrate that it complies with the relevant criteria. Any resident or owner of a business or property in Clemson is allowed to comment on the application and provide feedback to the BAR at each review stage. Speakers will be given 3 minutes to provide comments and feedback. Please consider appointing a spokesperson if there are multiple people wishing to speak. Please do not repeat information already presented by someone else. Questions asked by the board during a presentation will not count toward the time limit. At its discretion, the board may allow the applicant 3 minutes for rebuttal. All comments and questions must be directed to the chairperson, who will respond or direct the question to the appropriate party for response. Any written comments received by the planning office have been submitted to the BAR and will be considered in its decision. After all comments are offered, the chairperson will close the hearing portion of the meeting, and the BAR will discuss and evaluate the information presented in the context of the requirements of the city code. We ask that you please turn off all cell phones or place them in the silent mode. As a reminder to board members, please avoid side conversations and crosstalk. Again, welcome to the meeting. Okay, so our first thing is adopting the minutes from our last month's meeting. There were, hardly anything in terms of changes to it. Is there anybody that's willing to make a motion that we approve the minutes from last month's meeting?
so moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, minutes have been adopted. Okay, that moves us into our action items. We've got our first under building and site review, 2025 AR05. Applicant Zeev Jossman is requesting approval of a new Papa Bear car wash at 898 Tiger Boulevard. So we'll hear from Jacob first.
Okay, so there hasn't been any major changes to the building at all. They've done some slight changes to the site plan, just about the berm itself, particularly in the back. But they did provide us, so since my staff work came out, they have actually provided us with a cross section. So you should have that. They also provided a smaller picture that was sent out to, given to all you guys about the lighting. Now, just something to show is that the string lighting, this is an actual photo of one of their facilities. The string lighting is not part of this proposal. They just wanted to show you the small lights on the structure itself. That's just all that is demonstrating. But they did provide the cross section showing the detail on the berm and how it interacts with the environment. Honestly, with that, they only, concern from staff's point of view is just the lights inside the tunnel with all that glass on the side, if there should be any consideration for frosting the glass or not. But other than that, we have no objections.
Okay. So if Mr. Jossman would like to come up and share anything, if there's anything to be shared in terms of
Yeah, so the cross section you guys had asked for on the side of the site there, did that and did one all the way down the side of the site to kind of show where the berm would be located. The site will be a little bit higher than the road, so you've got 3 feet above to the top of the berm. And that's pretty much around the site. And then the landscaping, the bushes would go right on top of the berm. So I think that's what you guys are requesting. We took care of that. And as far as the lights inside the tunnel, PJ can talk about that.
Okay.
Questions about that?
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff.
BJ Davis, Papa Bear Car Wash. So on the lighting aspect of the tunnel, I know the flickering lights is not an option, but I understand that. So my question is on, like, take this picture here, and I believe the code, and I'm not good with the code, but like understanding it, but this is my perception of the code that I read, which was the first 10 feet of the facade facing a parking lot has to be 50% windows. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We were wondering if we got rid of those 3 windows on this side to match the other side, so that there was only a window on the exit end and do no lights down there.
Is that the parking lot, your parking lot, or is that facing?
No, that's facing the
That's
Ruby
facing Ruby
Tuesdays.
Does that apply to something facing somebody else's parking lot?
Honestly, I mean, that's up to you guys' interpretation. It's usually the storefront
Yeah.
that we consider the one facing your parking lot.
So I don't even think that would apply to facing your neighbor's parking lot. So,
Well, it's a side of the building too, as opposed to, let's say, I think the last issue we had with that was with the Ingalls, right?
Yep. Last one, well, actually with glass, that was about covering their windows.
Yeah.
Last one I can think of offhand was, you know, the auto parts store.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Remember that, how they had to, but that was again, like we said, that's the front facade, not the side.
I would rather not have the windows than have to frost them. And I'd rather have control of we have 100% control of our lights. We can make them do, like right now they're all pink because of breast cancer awareness and we're raising money, right? So like, we can do whatever we want to do. They can be solid, they can,
So could
they can
you
flow,
could
but
have
you wouldn't be able to
tinted-
see
You
them.
don't actually have to frost them, you could actually just get a tinted glass, right?
I was under the impression in the code that we could not tint the glass.
No, you guys can, if you guys approve it, again, it's
Well,
up to.
if it's adjacent to somebody else's parking lot, that law doesn't apply, you don't even need the
Correct.
windows, correct?
I think that you could take that interpretation. So I think the intention
Well, I'm
of the
just
law.
saying, if it's the easiest thing is to just to tint the glazing, to have like a gray tinted glass as opposed to filling in the facade, I don't know. At this point, whether, it's a design change and all that kind of stuff. You
Yeah, it's
could, you
just
could
one-
darken
I mean,
the glass.
So just curious on the design change, I mean, I don't know the process. If we were to just take out the 3 windows, does that mean I just have to come and present at one more meeting?
No.
Or is that,
I think you guys could do that. You can do that today if you want to.
Yeah. I think that would be optimal.
I mean, you guys okay with that, or?
Oh, yeah.
If you take the whole
And we
idea
won't
of,
do any lights at the end. So there will be no lights at the end, so all of our lights will be essentially within the tunnel itself. Behind the windows, up until the windows.
And so the material then on the wall would just be the same as the gray or green, whatever that
Yes,
is?
sir, yep,
Is that siding?
yes, sir.
What's that hardy green? Yeah.
But it would be fine with keeping the windows if you made it a gray or, dark glass too, so, but.
I say either option, whichever. I mean, if it's easy, windows are expensive, probably more expensive than siding.
And operationally,
And
they cause a
so,
different
yeah.
level of clean.
So-
We pride ourselves on having very clean windows, so
Yeah.
operationally it would be obviously easier for us if we didn't have to.
So in this picture, just for clarification, there's currently a white roll-up door at the end, which is your entrance.
It should be brown, it should be
It'll be brown.
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, it should be brown, but yes, it is a roll.
Despite whether it's white or brown, there's
Okay,
a roll-up door.
yes, sir.
And so window 1, 2, and 3 would be gone.
Yes, sir.
And then you would have the opening there, which is also a roll-up door,
No,
or is
that's
that
a
a
window.
window?
That's fine.
Okay,
That's glass.
sorry, it's hard to tell when they're transparent.
Yeah. Yeah, so that would be glass on both sides, so it would be identical on both sides.
Okay,
Think that look good?
yeah, I think that would be,
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to figure out. Isn't that Tokyo, the strip shopping center in Tokyo?
It's Ruby Tuesday.
and it's basically just 2-sided parking, right? There's the Ruby Tuesdays and then like just 2 rows of parking, right, isn't it?
I think so.
Pretty sure
You
Route
can park on either side.
on Route.
Come down.
Probably the only route Tuesday still open.
There's
Hey, we held on to the west and south line too.
There is parking there.
Yeah, there's.
Okay, yeah, so it's the
Yeah,
double.
it's Ruby Tuesdays, has
Okay.
parking on both sides.
And you've got the trees there.
It's got the row of trees there, yeah.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with getting rid of the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, either leaving the one tinted or just getting rid of all of them altogether, actually.
So you're getting rid of the 3 interior windows.
Right, but we don't have to do anything to the exit ones, correct?
Yeah.
No tint, no, there's gonna be no lights there, so no tint of anything, right?
That's fine.
If you guys are good, we're good on that.
Okay.
anything else you want to present before us?
Unless you guys have any other questions, lighting, sound.
I just do have one question. The lights overnight, you showed a picture of the, what it looks like when lights when you are open. Are those all turned off and just a few of them on at night when you are closed, or are they gonna be
Yeah,
on at night?
so every light that you see there is on at night. I'm sure we could control that, but we do that because homeless people will come in and they will go through the cyclones. And I do have a slight concern about, the mixed-use facility across from us and people parking in our lot to go to the bars, and you never know what you're gonna get. You can use
You
your
could
parking
dim
lot
the
right now.
lights,
you
you
should
could,
park-
you could
charge
lower
for
the
it.
light level at night.
I'm sorry?
You can lower the light level after you close.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have the ability to, we can put dimmers
maybe
on
just
it.
turn half of them off and leave the ones on for security.
Yeah, we could do
Because the
that.
biggest thing with this I'd see is light pollution, so bleeding
Yeah,
out.
and that isn't exactly a representation of what you guys are doing, correct? Like, you're not gonna have the string lights, just the ones on the vertical posts, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot less bright than what that's showing.
I was also standing under a light when I took the picture. But, yeah. Okay, we'll use as few lights as,
And can we just specify that, like, after it's built, like, just to monitor, and if there is an issue with,
Yep, I mean, you can, but it'd be probably best to say that they have to be on dimmers if you're gonna
Yeah.
want them dimmer. It's harder to retrofit than it is
Yeah.
to, putting them in is almost nothing.
sure.
Put a dimmer on there.
Putting in dimmers almost
Okay,
no cost, coming out after the fact is paid.
right.
Yeah, the only thing you'll have to focus on when doing that
Sure.
is, especially if you're using LED bulbs, a lot of those bulbs are not made for dimming. And the way they dim LED bulbs is it's the rate that they flicker. And so it can be quite annoying if you use a variable LED bulb, because it just sits there and like pulses.
You have an electrical engineer doing the lighting.
So,
Oh, yes.
yeah, but
He'll
just,
figure that out.
but just keep,
We'll
keep that in mind.
Write that down, Greg.
So, the only thing I notice, and this is possibly more discussion for the board, when we look at the landscape plan and the back fence, that's L100, it's the last page of your packet. If you see on, I forget what road that is.
Holiday West, yeah.
West, okay, along Holiday West, you have the berm, you have the trees, then we have the 5-foot fence. But if you look at the fence as it comes towards the intersection, we're basically gonna get the, sort of the end of the fence that's just bare and facing us, where if the fence was shortened by 10 feet and like some evergreens were put on the end of that, it would feel better than just having a fence sort of stop. And
The other option would be to put an L on it,
which is what they
turn
have
the
in
last segment.
Yeah.
because in the top rendering, it does have the L, but then in the landscaping.
Yeah,
plan, it doesn't.
they started running some problems with doing the L because of, I think it was an underground utility and the grade. That's why it doesn't have the L anymore, but I know what you're saying.
We can put a tree there.
So if it doesn't have the L, then I think pushing it back, adding some 6-foot, some kind of, evergreen holly, something to cap that would feel more appropriate and less awkward.
Agreed.
So,
I was thinking we could wrap the end and maybe go back like 5 feet too, or 10 feet, something like that, at the siding. To wrap it where it wouldn't be so.
That's what I was thinking with the L.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. with
Yeah,
the
but he
L.
was just saying that there were issues with the L.
Yeah, they had asked, no, the engineer's not here, but yeah, basically they ran into,
The grading issue.
yeah, grading issues and something to do with utilities, I forget what offhand, but.
It looks like the drum runs around though. It must be
Either way, I think some way, so it's not just an end of a wall.
I agree.
No, I like the idea of pulling it back a little bit and then finishing it,
Yeah.
and then evergreens. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to share public input, and then we can move into discussion. Is there anybody here that would like to make any public comment? Okay, so this one was submitted earlier this week, is that correct? Okay, so do I name the person that? Okay, so this comes from Stephanie Platt and Mountain View Lane, Clemson, South Carolina. I oppose the building of a car wash here, where the old Western Sizzlin was. We have enough car washes in the city of Clemson. You spend enough building these student housing complexes that they could have their own car wash. I still think a city parking garage would be better. Thank you. So I wanted to share that. Okay.
Make one comment of, it is not this board's power to approve or disapprove what they're putting on the properties, actually.
Correct. As
I
long as
don't think you
it,
have to address it.
This is more than, this is more planning and code and zoning.
okay, so that's going to move us into board discussion. I've written down, this is what I've written down thus far. So making sure that we have dimmers on the lights, the removal of the 3 windows on the Ruby Tuesday side, and then the rear wall, cutting it back some, finishing out on the other side, just some feet back, and then some evergreens. And we did agree that it was going to be the darker color on the wall, right, to kind of blend? Okay.
We decided on brown.
Same as the other walls are finished, right? Yeah. Okay.
But just for clarity, these need to be tall, like I would say 6-foot minimum. They need to be taller than the fence,
Okay.
not shorter than the fence. This is not a 3-gallon evergreen capping the wall. It's a, like a large holly.
And probably 3 of them.
I'd recommend 3 of them and just have a nice sort of conclusion.
I'm happy for those changes.
Now, just for clarification, we are not approving the sign package at this time. We
That is
are,
correct.
we are only,
Yeah, might just want to say that on stipulation, sign package to come back at a later date.
Any other discussion before we move forward? Okay, so based on what we've been presented with the following stipulations, I'll ask for a motion that we accept what has been presented to the board with the stipulation that we have dimmers on the lights, and that, if we need to monitor after construction whether or not the lights need to be lowered or not, we can do that. The removal of the 3 windows facing the Ruby Tuesdays parking lot. That rear wall, we're cutting it back, and then instead ending it with at least 6 feet tall evergreens, and also wrapping the finish from the rear around to the front. And sign package is going to be approved or considered at a later date. Is there anything else that we need to add into the motion?
I'll move to approve based on those modifications.
Okay, do we have a
I'll second.
second? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, so moved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. let's see here. That moves us to our second building and site review action item. Applicant Quentin Brown of CNW Estates LLC is requesting review of a new commercial building at 203 Frontage Road. So we'll hear from Jacob first.
Yes, so there has been major changes to the building since your last, the last viewing of it. They, yeah, come around and pass them out. I think the applicant did a good job taking your guys' oh wow, that's very helpful, thank you. And
Excellent, thank you.
so basically tonight, we're here to see pretty much the whole building and vote on the variance application. Now, the variance application is for having parking between the building and the road. And this is probably one of the only times I ever tell you that, you know, staff saying that this is a variance that you almost have to approve. They have no options. The amount of parking you need for any sort of reasonable business would take you out in front of the building on either one side or the other. So the variance itself,
And is a continuation of the
I mean,
precedent.
it's part of the master plan for the site.
correct. So it's almost a formality that we have to go through the variance, but we still do.
Why don't we start with that one, that's easy.
Okay,
Okay.
get that out of the way. Sounds good.
So, for under the public hearing, the same applicant is requesting a variance from table 191110, 1.A.1, no off-street parking in front of building line at 203 Frontage Road. So, based on what Jacob has reported out, is there anything you'd like to speak to before we decide on the variance?
You do have to open up to the public to make sure no one
That's
has
right,
anything to
public.
say.
Okay, so nothing you'd like to?
No.
Okay, do we have any public input on this? Okay, so on the variance, do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the variance.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, so that takes care of the public hearing part for the variance. So that returns us back to the action item where we're looking at the review of your new design. So, Jacob, anything else you'd like to add about that before?
No, the applicant has brought in material samples and has actually just supplied us with a, you know, rendering showing it in relation to the other building, which I think is actually quite helpful. And with that, I'll turn it over to the applicant to walk us through the changes you've made and what you'd like to say.
Sure. So Quentin Brown, glad to be here today. Changes, we've talked about proportions for stone or brick. So we did change the proportions on the building itself so that it's got proportions all along the front that kind of vary. That way it's not a solid look like we had before, if you remember. We also have window style. We want to change the window style to kind of not exactly match the other building, but complement the other building, kind of make it look similar. We're not doing exact, but pretty close. The other thing was roof pitch. We wanted to increase the roof pitch to kind of give it a little bit more elevated, tall look, similar to the other one without throwing a whole other floor on top of it. And color scheme, last time the brick that we chose was a lighter brick, and the brick that we now have is more of a darker, similar to the stone that he has. Would you like this passed around? So we, it's still got a light tone to it, but it is a darker brick than we
The siding as
Sure.
well, please.
And this is the exact color of the brick on the pre-existing building, or of the siding on the pre-existing.
So you're gonna match the color of the siding on the existing building?
Yeah, siding will match,
Get some,
but the brick will not be exact. It'll be close.
it's hard to tell from the imagery. Is this a lap siding or board and batten siding, or what's the?
Yeah, it's gonna be hardy plank lap
Okay.
on the front, and then up in the gable, we're gonna do a board and batten
Okay.
hardy.
But the same color.
Same color.
Okay.
Yeah. We also added a dormer, kind of match his, where he's got the gable dormer look. Before we had a hip and Valley, so now we got gables and dormers added.
And the mortar color in the brick is gonna be,
That's gonna be a white mortar.
I would encourage you to choose a darker mortar. This brick.
I second that. That's it.
And the rendering kind of makes it look like it's stone. And the original building is stone, is that correct, the stone veneer?
Yeah, the pre-existing building is stone, so we are doing brick.
And is this a full brick veneer, or is this a brick,
A thin brick?
a thin brick?
It's gonna be a full brick veneer.
I think, not to speak for him, but it looks like they were trying to match the color, and there may not have been a brick. But
I do have my architect today, so he may me speak on that a little bit more. This is Brandon.
You may come to the
Sure. Yeah, he wants to talk about it, or maybe.
If you'll just say your first and last name, please.
Brandon Holcomb, Architectural Design Center. We actually designed McKinnis's building also. So,
Pre-existing building.
yeah, the building right beside it, Dr. McKinnis's building. We try to pick a brick that kind of matches what the stone is currently.
The brick is a better brick for sure. And it seems to go with the siding. I would just encourage you not to use a pure white mortar. I would subdue there's enough variation in the brick that I think you can go with a mortar that's darker.
Okay, no problem.
It reads a little bit different in color. I don't know if it is, but is the header bricks around the door, and it looks like there's,
We try to go a little bit darker color with those just to create a contrast, because otherwise you don't even really see them, they just blend in.
okay, so that is gonna be a different brick?
That was my opinion of what it should be, but kind of looking for some input. I mean, typically I would go a little shade different that's complementary, and just so it brings attention to it, because otherwise this kind of blends in. We tried to break the gable up by adding a roof across it to break up the materials.
So you said this siding is the color that the siding is on the original building?
Correct. Yes.
The rendering makes it look really dark.
It does, and if you look at it on the, like Google Maps, it almost looks green. But yes, they should match, and part of the problem is the shadow that the program was just casting on it, so it makes it look like a darker color. But I went in there and put the RPG numbers in there to try and match it, but.
Okay, all right.
Because you can see like in the
As
gable.
long as it matches, then I think you're fine.
Yeah, the gable was the same color, but you see it's not shaded as much, so it looks a little lighter in the rendering, not in the elevation.
Well, and also, how long has that building been built, that existing building?
Right, and so that's my other thing too. I think that was back in 2012? 12? I was gonna say 17.
So, I mean, we know that there's gonna be.
My thought also is, do you really try to match it? Because it's gonna be hard to match that building that's sitting out in the sun and baking.
Yeah.
Do you go with a darker gray?
So.
It complements it, but
So what's gonna happen when you have that aging is the color's still gonna complement. It's actually not gonna read identical. So you're actually accomplishing exactly what you're saying by painting it the original color. They still have the same base colors. You're not getting a weird sort of tone differential, whether it's more yellow or more brown or whatever. You still have the same, makeup of the paint, but it's gonna all automatically read almost like a shade darker than what's been
Out in the sun.
out in the sun, lightning for 12 years. So you're actually accomplishing what you just,
Okay. Well, that's our intent, to match the color, but.
yeah.
It's fine. I think if you keep the siding, that color, you use a darker mortar on the brick and you've got a highly varied. I think it helps. It's a big improvement over the last
Yeah.
time.
Well, we try to match the other building, but I mean, as an architect, I design what the client wants.
Yeah.
Mark liked that style of building. It just has a lot going on. So we tried to just simplify it a little bit and try to modernize it more,
A few things, your trim color, it's hard to know see what that is.
Right, and it almost looks a different color, but it really.
And so the glazing is the window system is what is it, a metal?
Yeah, like aluminum storefront with kind of.
It's a storefront?
Yes, sir.
And so
And
it's gonna
we
be
tried to keep a
bronze?
pattern that matched, but,
It's gonna be in bronze?
wouldn't be a bronze, I wouldn't think.
What's the window,
The color of the windows, I
the
would.
color of the window and the glazing and the color of the framing?
The color of the window framing, I would think it would be a black.
So you're gonna go black?
Yes, sir.
Now, the awning, what color is that gonna be?
I think that would be black also to match the window color.
And when it comes to roofing, are you gonna use a similar color of shingle or go darker?
It is gonna be similar color. I did ask him exactly what it was, and I didn't get a response, so I don't have the exact color right this minute. But it's gonna be a darker shingle. It's gonna be like
An
a,
architectural shingle?
Yes.
So,
So they're gonna have to come back with a full materials package, right?
Yes, what did you guys bring today?
Just the siding and brick.
it's the siding and the wood brick. So,
what other material do we need?
It'd be the shingles and the metal for the awnings and the windows.
and there's wood, it looks like a
and then the
composite
other
wood
brick.
for the trash can enclosure, or the dumpster enclosure. So my only,
And that wouldn't be wood, that would be a composite siding that's just
Yeah, I
colored
mean,
to look like wood.
yeah, I
well,
see.
it just says composite wood slats.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
That as well as the,
We want that
brick for
painted
the
out
soldier
the same
course
color as the
window.
siding.
The same color?
Yeah.
so just as you're looking at colors and looking at sort of the big picture, that has brown, it picks up some of the colors of the green. If you go with a dark bronze window, if you go with the dark bronze wood composite, if you go with the dark, then all of those elements can start tying together, and then you don't have sort of a random wood element, and then the black, and then the trim should, all of the soffits and things like that, shouldn't be the same color as,
Color as the siding?
it should not be the same color as the
Okay, so that's what I
siding.
never know. I mean,
Yeah.
some people want it to match and some people, think it should contrast, but I personally would like it to be a
Talking about?
complementary shade.
Like the soffit, like what they're showing as basic, or what would be the fascia board,
Right.
wouldn't it be the same color as the siding?
Well, I think we noted it to be a darker complementary color.
So I think the fascia board should be whatever matches the trim of the windows.
Right, so that's why I'm saying, if it's either black, like you do it all black, or you do it all like a dark bronze.
No, I was saying like the actual window frames would be black and then the trim would be a shade of gray that complements the shade of the siding.
But it should probably go darker than lighter in the siding,
On the trim or the siding?
trim,
Yes.
on the fascia. Because you basically have a brick sill at the window, and you don't have any window trim other than the window frame itself, right?
There is window trim around it, composite one-box trim around the windows.
Oh, there is?
Yes, sir.
Because it looks like it's just storefront up against the brick, that's why I was trying to figure that out.
Oh, at the brick?
Yeah, the brick.
At the brick, no, it would just be brick and then, a soldier course above it.
Okay, gotcha.
So are you saying the 3 windows up top above the door don't have any header on it, but the 2 on the right side do on the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
If you look at the 2 windows on the bottom on the right side on the brick, looks like they have a different brick header, like it's a,
Yes.
that's not on the second story on the left side there.
It should be. Yes, sir.
And on the other side too, on the same
That's,
portion.
and that's the same header around the front door?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The windows up above should have that header also.
Okay.
Is there any way we can simplify it, just do window trim and fascia soffit all black? Make it easier on us? Is that something you guys would be okay
I
with?
think it's fine to go all the same. But I mean, so the header, is that a brick header or is that?
Yes, sir.
It's a brick header.
Yes, sir. In the brick, yes, sir.
It's in the brick.
Yeah, like a soldier course.
It's a soldier course.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I got
Yes,
you.
sir.
I see what
Same
you're saying.
brick. So
And so also along the top of the brick, under the little piece of roof that breaks up the gable there, that would be the same
But it's
thing.
it's the same brick, right? It's not a different brick, the soldier
I would
course.
think it would be a little bit darker, but the same rustic tan color, but a shade.
Okay.
I just think if we go the same color, do you even see
Well,
it?
again, that's the thing, is if then you're gonna change the color on the brick header, then we need to see that brick too.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's just keep the same, because that, just for simplicity's sake, I don't want to change it
Okay.
if it's gonna require me to bring in another sample.
Okay.
I mean, an easy way to do that is it just has a reveal, so you get that shadow, and that's really what helps just set it out. Other than having a different material,
Yes, sir. It's
that
just-
shadow line.
It should stick out like that inch. It's just hard to see in a flat.
Oh, I understand.
Or even in the rendering that far away.
Yeah, we'll keep that the same color, just for simplicity's sake, because I don't want to have to get another sample in here. And you also need the metal. You wanted me to bring metal for,
Yeah, the awning metal,
okay.
the roof material.
The window frame, the window trim, or window, the aluminum sample.
Can I just bring a metal piece of flashing that's black, and it'd be okay for everything? So you
Well, I
okay?
mean, you should be able to get a sample from your window vendor of the window frame.
Well, I just haven't bid it out yet. I haven't even looked for, I haven't searched for the window company that's doing it yet, if that makes sense. I don't have a specific one I'm using yet.
I think as long as it's noted as black and
It would just be a
True black.
typical black Kynar window, storefront window system.
Okay.
So the idea being that the awning, the framing of the windows, and then also fascia pure black?
Yes.
Now, I missed, what is the trim that's, where, the siding that's not, brick? What color is that gonna be?
Similar to the existing building?
Oh, I thought that we were doing a different color trim. I mean, the trim part.
Trim, the siding of the trim is painted out to match the siding.
They're gonna be the same color?
Yeah, same color.
Okay.
Okay. So you said you don't have the spec for the windows yet? So are you getting a spec package that you're gonna have a contractor bid against, or how are you doing that?
Just truthfully, I haven't got that far yet. If I couldn't make it past approvals, then I wasn't gonna waste my time bidding it out.
Okay. But are you, as the architect, are you providing specifications along with the drawings, or is it?
Written specifications, no.
You're not doing specifications, okay.
I mean, I'll help him pick out the stuff, but I just wasn't gonna write specs when, he's gonna be very involved in the building of the building, so there, I didn't wanna charge him for time that he didn't need.
One other thing, the inside of the dumpster area, because what is not shown in this rendering is that the wall actually comes up to that dotted line. And so all of that is seam
Yes.
right there. So what's the treatment in there? Brick, okay. Okay.
So, yeah, it's like getting some of those drawings so that they actually represent what you're gonna be building.
Right.
Is really what we need.
Yeah, I think when we got submitted these, we just had like a week or so from our last meeting to get these back in, and we cleaned them up as best we could, and just, we actually have more updated drawings, we couldn't get them to you. We have them now,
Any other guidance we'd like to offer up? Okay, so the idea is they'll come back for final approval?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else you need from us in terms of?
Yes,
Guidance.
I need more color. If it's gonna be darker, are we thinking dark like sand, or dark like brown, or like,
Like,
I just need something so
or should we just
Not
match?
just-
I mean, I would go closer to a gray that is similar to the siding, okay? There's some of this green in the brick already. But I mean, you can bring a sample, you can get a sample, a mortar sample packet.
so General Shell, they have one, I think it's called Roanoke Gray, is one of their standards.
But you want a warm gray, not
Yeah.
a cool gray, 'cause
Right.
this is all.
So I think they have a pile of samples and just,
But I would match the mortar to the brick, okay?
but I do think white you would end up not liking that contrast, so.
No, we would not like it.
yeah, y'all wouldn't like it. I like my last building better. But it's not for me to decide, I guess.
Okay, anything else? Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing y'all back.
Thanks.
So can I ask a question? If we make those couple of changes with the colors, the basic shape and the dormers and that
Yeah,
stuff is
I think
acceptable?
it's a big improvement over the last time in terms of the proportions of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just worried about material finish colors. Okay, thank you.
I do have one more question, I'm sorry, I just thought about it. So we're bringing the material for next time. Is this like a conditional approval, like, hey, you're good, you just gotta bring the material? Or are we doing like a, no, we don't wanna approve it all until we know, until you bring in those samples? I'm just curious.
I think we need actual, like, more specs laid out in the drawings in terms of like, right? I mean, I thought this was just gonna be for design review, right? Not for approval, correct?
That's mine. I mean, what we want is a complete representation of what you're gonna build in terms of the drawings, some of the incomplete things we pointed out, and the complete material palette.
We'll need the lighting and the landscaping.
We already have the landscape plan.
We got the landscaping.
And I believe you're not doing any lighting at this
Yeah,
time?
we're not doing lighting, the pre-existing building doesn't have any lighting, so we're not gonna add any lighting to that.
Do we have the landscaping plan?
Yes, should be part of the package. I think at least the first part it was. He did submit it, so.
I don't have any. Is it on the
There's-
document?
Jacob, I didn't pull it from the last submission, I just went with the submission we received, so it was in the first package, nothing in the book, let it go back there and pull it.
Okay. I believe he, oh, yeah, it's in the first packet.
I personally feel like it's not fleshed out enough to make a motion on final approval.
Let's get a complete package submitted with the materials complete.
Are you guys gonna have your existing packets, or do you need them to print out another whole set of them?
I meant they're still in the email, I got them.
Okay.
So, I'm good.
So we can combine the previous with what we have and.
Well, if you just
look at
keep
them.
them, I always leave these with you, so.
Okay.
I think the overall design is fine.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I don't
the
see any
form and
issues.
shape of the building, the window placement and proportions are much better.
It's
So
just the colors we're looking at.
Okay, so I would be safe releasing other engineers to start.
I-
So when you do approve, we can go right for permits and.
And then if you do have a landscaping plan, because I know there was some issues with pop-up air, if you want to take a look at those and just let me know, because what I don't want to happen is come back and say, no, we don't like the landscaping, now we got to come back another month, and, you know, eventually you start losing too much time, and it starts not being.
Well, I think now we got the variance.
Well,
so that's-
our landscape guy's looking at it right now, so
Okay.
maybe we just give it a couple minutes.
Well, I'm just, you know, I just want to be clear that the more time that I lose, the less likely this project goes to fruition, so.
Isn't it on the applicant's responsibility to submit a complete package
Well, he did submit a complete package.
that we have to review?
Well, you did get it.
Not this time, we didn't.
Not this time. It's not his responsibility to keep your package.
Each
You keep
time.
That wasn't on the applicant.
That's on the applicant. I mean, not each time. Usually when they get supplemental information, they just keep adding it to it. We don't just, have them print out everything all over again.
The cost of that.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to request, what was in the last one, we can always do that, but.
Yeah, let's make sure that we have everything in
Yeah, I'd
our
like to have
hands.
in front of us what we're
Okay.
deciding about.
Yep.
I just felt every eye on me.
Well, they were all
Well,
looking at you.
yeah, well, since none of us have access to that information, we can't do anything but look at you, Nathan.
Okay.
Well, you are the experts, so. Yep.
You do what you do.
Let's come look at this drawing. We can
Will there be anything tied to signage?
I don't know. Are you planning any signage for this?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
So that you would have to bring back to us, the signage.
Is
Maybe
that,
a separate permit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't technically have to have a sign, so I'm gonna push that off for now, until I know what we want. I mean, ideally, I'd like to match what's already there, but I don't have any of his designs or anything like that. I'm trying to get started sooner than later.
So, do y'all want me to pass this down or just go ahead and give my feedback?
I trust you.
I trust you.
Good feedback.
Okay, so what I would look at on the landscape plan is your location of willow oaks in relation to the amount of space they have to grow. They're, yes,
Can you pull up the landscape plans? You have it.
so they're not very far from the curb. And so, but they're in places where it looks like there's only one that I would say absolutely not. It would
Is that
be,
the one in the middle?
it's the one in front of the building in the middle.
Yeah.
On that little narrow.
okay, we didn't even show that in the rendering, then, just because I knew it'd cover up. the
Okay,
building.
Yeah, we can get rid of that one.
there you go. So, here, do you want me to point with the mouse? Well. So this one right here is too tight of an island. I would get rid of it.
Okay.
The crepe myrtles that you have, just so you know, crepe myrtles are extremely messy along parking areas. People like them, but if you're gonna want to plant some crepe myrtles, I would plant them in a place where all of the mess isn't all in your parking lot. That's just personal feedback. I'm not sure what is here, if this one is actually existing, but right here, you don't need two willow oaks, of course. If there's not one there, then I would move this one to
Yeah.
just split the
I
property
don't
line.
think I don't think he planted that one.
If this one doesn't need to be here, it needs to be centered
Sure.
in the island. Here, you have plenty of room to move this one back, give it a lot of room to be healthy. This one here, it can be moved back, give it plenty of room. This one as well. They're just not well-placed. You know, it's not by much, but when you're talking about a confined space, even a few feet sort of matter. Just look at all the trees they're cutting down along 123 right now because they didn't have enough space. Euonymus is listed on here. It is on the invasive plant list species, so no burning bush, absolutely not. English boxwood, you actually have the name for the American boxwood. I would not put English boxwood in. They're very expensive. It's like gold. So those would be American boxwood, not English boxwood. There's nothing really, there's no major issues with any of the other plants, but that is how I would look at it.
Just so you know too, this is the original landscape plan from when he did phase 1. So this is actually the same thing that he's asked, but with phase 2 included
Okay.
from 12 years ago.
Right here, your common name for willow oak actually is the shamrock holly, the botanical name. So you have common name willow oak, botanical name is shamrock holly. So that's incorrect. And your size, you need to put in something larger than a 5-gallon willow oak. So it's listed as 5-gallon. That needs to be something more
Maybe
like
30 gallon.
yeah, or 2-inch caliper, or
Yeah,
in,
30
you
gallon,
know,
2-inch gallon.
something like that. That's not correct. And I think that was it. Yes, that was it.
Is there any utilities that run above, or everything is?
Well, if you see that rendering, you see there's a power pole, and power lines right out in front of the building.
Okay.
And that's, we tried to take a picture, you know, from where you would actually see. I know a lot of people like to see the bird's eye view, but you'll never get that view unless you're flying a drone around.
Because I was just wondering if it would cross over any of your creek myrtles. Because they
I don't think they did the crepe myrtles in the first phase, it looks
Oh,
like.
okay.
So I swapped them out.
Because they'll ask you to trim those.
Yeah.
I'll cut it down.
You can do small understory trees or have them properly pruned so they stay smaller. I mean, there's ways to do it, but I would recommend just having those somewhere else that they're not gonna be a mess.
Would you be opposed to me just copying what he's got there, the
hollies?
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to it.
okay. And then I'll just, if it's okay with you, so I don't have to go find whoever did the landscape plan back in the day, can I hand jam it on there and show you what we're gonna do? And
I mean, it needs to be a legible plan,
Yeah,
with
sure.
plan list that
Yeah.
someone's gonna
Your architect could draw it.
follow.
I'm not paying him too much, all right? You're not too much
So,
The rendering already cost me.
I mean, as long as it is a legible plan that could be, I mean, you know, this is what, honestly, something more legible than this would be better.
Yeah.
Even though this is official, it's still,
Yeah.
Anything else? Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we've already done the variance, so that moves us on to staff reports.
We have no staff reports.
Okay. Any other business?
Nope.
Okay, so on that note,